This is my third time doing this because I didn't realise that you could. I didn't know how to do full screen. So let's go. But yeah. The title came up. I came up with the title after I watched the new Suspiria because that's the name of one of the songs. I don't even really like witch horror films. I think filming like kind of ones in the forest is the most easy because it's obviously a public place. But then I wanted to do a witch, so it was kind of like it's not really a horror film. It's more of just like because it's not scary. It's just there are some elements of it anyway. But yeah, that's where I got the idea from Suspiria. Yeah, this went well. I don't know why I paused it. That was very fun to break. It was actually a lot easier to break than I first thought it would be. It literally, because I was going to film it, because I expected it to like be really difficult, and it literally just did like hit it like once. It was already like completely broken. And what I thought was quite nice was that when she stood on it, you couldn't, because it was broken beforehand, obviously, but she kind of breaks it even more. And you can hear it like quite clearly, which was very helpful because I was just going to break a different mask I had. But yeah, that was good. That's annoying. This was all of this was all the stuff that I brought with me. That's all the props, bags. I didn't realise it was in frame until I was editing it all together. I don't think I even noticed it. I think maybe my mum pointed it out or someone else pointed it out. And yeah, that was really annoying. But I can't do anything about it. Also filming here, this is just Lawns, which is like down the road from college. That wasn't too bad. It was early in the morning because I kind of knew that it wouldn't be too busy. But I also knew that there'd be dog walkers, which there weren't loads, but there were enough that it kind of like we had to stop while they walked past, because also all the dogs would run over, because I guess, I don't know, they smelt the bones, and then they smelt the chicken from the bones, and then they'd try and like, I didn't obviously want them to eat it, so because they'd probably die. So yeah, that was stressful. It wasn't too bad. It was quite fun. But yeah, all my locations were fine. Didn't have any problems with that because they're mainly public places. There are 2 public places, and then the one in the house, that's just my friend Ruth's house, who is here. That's her. Yeah. Oh, this was difficult it wasn't difficult, it was just, it took me a while to like get it right. So with the deal with this, I made the face. I made a second face because it was supposed to be the mask of the witch, because you were going to see her, but I thought it would, well, you do see her. Spoilers, you see her. But I think it would have been really difficult to actually wear because it kind of wasn't the right shape as well. It needed to be bigger, and I didn't really think of that until after it. But no, I have that now. That's another something. And then I made these little faces. They were like from molds. That's a Barbie. The bigger ones are like Barbie faces. And I don't know what that one's from. That one's kind of scares me. I think it's just from like a little baby. And then one of them's from like a little baby cherub. And yeah, I made them with my mum. Oh, and then the bones. The bones were difficult because they set me... So they come out really well the first time I did them, because all you have to do was cook the chicken, boil the chicken, because then the meat just easily comes off, and then dry them, and then put them in the oven just so they kind of go even more dry, and then they're not like sticky and like have like the fat on them. But my mum was like, put them in the oven again, so then they get cold, like the colour, so they look a little bit more like weathered and stuff. But I don't know why, but we put them up at like the highest temperature, and they were in there for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then they burnt. So the ones that look a lot browner, which are like these ones, they weren't too bad, but there were some that were like black, and like when you pick them up they just like disintegrated in your hand. So that was annoying, because I then had to buy another chicken, boil the chicken, get all the meat off, it's very like, yeah, it's kind of gross, and then leave them to dry, and then dry them in the oven again, and that was probably about 2 or 3 days, I think how long that took. It wasn't like a massive setback, it was just a bit like it was a bit annoying. But yeah, I don't know what these little things are. They look like maggots, but I don't think they are. But they kind of, but I don't. They're good for the little setting, but they kind of look gross. I don't know what they were. But yeah, those are all my bones. I did use some of the more like kind of weathered bones on the mobile as well. So I didn't waste them, but there were just some that were like I couldn't use at all. Yeah, so there's the little face. Oh, you can't hear it at all, but there's like what was supposed to happen was the witch then jumps down from the tree, but you can't hear it very well. I needed to turn it up. I don't think anyone noticed, when I showed it to people, no one noticed. So that was something that I probably needed to change. So this shot kind of shows another problem. This was basically like last day of shooting, and I had, because of the delays, I had hoped that I would film it like the day, because I think I only had the camera for 2 days, so I'd film it the second day, but because of the delays I could only film it, I think I had to film it like the week after or later in the week, so I didn't have the camera with me. So then when I went to go and book one out, they were all gone. So I had to use my phone, and I'm guess that's probably why, because the quality's so bad. I also had to I had to zoom in on after, like in Premiere, so that's kind of why it kind of loses its quality. But it's like, it's an okay, it's an effective shot. It shows what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I also had to get an attachment that went on the tripod, and that kind of delayed me a little bit. But then I borrowed an attachment, and it was all fine, and then I could shoot on that day. Jesus Christ. Anyway. But yeah, it's spooky. Oh yeah, another issue. You'll definitely notice, but it's like the it kind of pulses, so I'm guessing that's maybe the focus was like it's having difficulty like with the shot, because it also does it later on with the like here a lot. I'm guessing it's because of the sun and because that's moving so much, because the mobile's like moving quite a lot, and then it's also making the sun come out, and it's like, yeah. But yeah, Jesus, it's very loud. But yeah, you can almost see my stuff, but luckily, because it's too dark, you can't see it, which is good. I think, we'll get to, there's another issue. That woman was walking her dog. Oh, okay, she's gone now, but she was walking her dog. And that's just an example of, there are a lot of dog walkers around. There's one there, I think. Oh no, that's not a person. Ignore me, that's a person. So, stop. I was supposed to have someone else do this, but they were ill, and then I also kind of, what my idea was, because it's a witch, I wanted her feet to be like covered in mud, or like her to be really dirty. So I had to take my shoes, I had to get dressed, I had to roll up my trousers, I had to basically go stand in like a massive thing of mud which is just below the steps, and it got all over my legs and stuff, and then I had to walk down, because I wouldn't, what the idea was is I was either gonna have this over my face, the hood, because it's like a massive hood. I was going to have a mask, the mask that I had made before, but I wouldn't have been able to see doing either of it, and I didn't want to fall down these stairs because they're already like dodgy. So that's why I had to then do this in After Effects. I just had to blur out my face and darken it. I would have wanted this bit to be gone a little bit more and kind of it to like completely take over the hood. But like that's it was my first time doing it, and that's all I got from that. But I don't know, it still looks pretty. Still doesn't look terrible. Like, especially when I look up, because I'm also wearing my glasses, because, like, I can't see if I don't have them on, and I didn't want to fall down these stairs, because that would have not been fun. And then, you can't really see it still annoys me, but there's a bit where you can see it, because it kind of changes, like, it changes, like, the shot changes. I think it was a lot smoother before, but something happened in, like, just when I was editing, I think it was, like, rendering and stuff, or processing it, where it just kind of didn't, this was a lot, like, the change was a lot smoother. But no, I like this was kind of, like, I liked this shot. If it was in better, better, like, quality, then it would have been great, but, you know. Jesus. But yeah, and then coming back up, Ruth fell over. Well, no, she didn't fall. She almost fell over, like, coming back up the hill, so it was very slippery. So yeah, that was the danger. That was the risk that I did not think of. Actually, no, I think I did think of it. I can't remember. Yeah. The reason that this looks so bad is because this was my first time filming, and I thought it all looked okay, and then I checked to see the ISO, and it was not good. It was all grainy and it didn't look good, and it was all off. But like this isn't terrible. But I think that's just because of the color, because it's not black. Like, the black looks bad. But yeah. Oh, this man, he was unpacking his van, and he was doing it for about half an hour, so we had to keep on stopping, which is very annoying. These red dots, I don't know what they are. They were on the camera, and they were on the camera screen, and I couldn't do anything about them, and yeah. This is very bad here, but yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I also had to use a phone camera light for the lighting, because I didn't expect it. I knew it was going to get dark, but it got dark a lot quicker than what I'd hoped, because we then had to, like, set everything up, obviously. So I should have changed the way I scheduled it, so I should have been about an hour maybe before, or half an hour before we went, and then set up everything and then practiced, and then we did it. But, you know, that's just, it is also winter. So yeah. And then this bit, what my idea is it was going to be the witch that was, like, following her down, and I wanted it to be, like, kind of right next to her shoulder, and then it was, like, her breathing, so it was like she was there. But I tried to cut it out and then have it just on its own, but there wasn't a wisp that I could find that was very good, and I don't know, when I tried to do it, it wasn't really working. So then I just did this, which doesn't look terrible. It kind of looks like she's being followed by it. And I changed the colour of it as well, because it was very white, and it didn't really look that good. I mean, it looks alright. Oh yeah, this was just so people knew. Which doesn't really make sense, but that they knew that, like, she's at home, but it doesn't really show that she's at home. This is another, it just annoys me because it's very not great quality, but yeah, the tapping. Oh yeah. That was it. This is why it's so bright, is because I was trying to do this hand thing, and her light was too bright, but we couldn't find anything else, another lamp. So it just lit up everything else, and you can't, the hand isn't very, but, you know. I kind of wanted that to be a bit more sun, but obviously didn't do that. Oh yeah. When I did the hand thing that came up, no one really noticed that. So then I had to, like the little jump down, I had to then show everyone again. But that's just something I need to know for next time. Make it, like, make things a bit more, like in frame. Like, because it's obviously, it's at the bottom, and there's no warning. So it'd be good if I had, like, a noise there. But yeah. And we're back. Yep. My feet were very cold after that. I then had to film the rest of it, so I had to then, like, get all the mud off, put my shoes on, and then film everything else, but my feet were, like, freezing, so that wasn't fun. Yeah, put in the face back. A man then, like a little picker then came over and saw it, and we were filming something else, and he almost put it all in the bin, and I was like, please don't. And then he went, and then I told him that I was filming, and then he went back to it and looked at it again, and I was like, I'll pick everything up. That's another health and safety thing. I didn't want any animals to eat any bones or pieces of mask, so that's why I broke the mask beforehand, and then put it on the ground so there weren't, like, shards and stuff. Oh, that was a little annoying bit that you could still see my toes, but no worries. Yeah, this was quite cool. I had to put a lot of blood on this, and then it got onto all of the other stuff, and I kind of didn't want that because this was shot before the girl sees it, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, there's blood all over it, like fake blood, obviously. But I think this looks good. This was, like, a good shot that I was happy with. Yeah. I had something to say. That's my hair. That's real. Yeah, that was my hair. I was going to have it so it was fingers, because it was the whole thing that she had taken it, but it would have looked really, really bad. I don't know how I would have done it. So I went with hair, because that was a bit more, like, I think hair's always used because it's kind of gross, especially if it's, like, clumpy and, like, how it is there. But yeah, that's it. But yeah, all in all, it went well. Because of all the planning I did, I didn't really, the only problems that I had were, like, short-term ones that could easily be fixed. Like, with the camera, I just had to wait for the attachment. Like, that was another thing of budgeting that obviously I didn't expect, but I didn't, like, it was annoying at the time, but it wasn't something that completely set me back. So I still had time to do everything. The chicken was annoying because the chicken took a long time, but, you know, that happens. And yeah, I did nothing really went wrong. It was just, I guess, like, normal stuff with props, stuff with equipment. Yeah, it went quite well. I finished everything on time. I think I got it handed in on time. I think I did. And yeah, there we go. Sick.